Okay. For those of you that are joining us, or maybe you clicked on this video on YouTube and you're like, what in the heck is a meat hook? I want you to look at this sliver and look at look at the hooks on the front, chat. It got like little hooky style things here. So this is Naya, or kind of 3.5 color meat hook. So our main deck is Naya, with a small amount of Diffusion Slivers in the board for disruption against interactive decks. We've got Sliver Hives as well as Unclaimed Territories here in a breeding pool to kind of cast these post-board. You can also collected company into them. We are leveraging the new digital mechanic Seek here. So Seek basically guarantees that you draw a specific type of card, and in this case, it draws a creature card of the most prevalent creature type in your library. So this is kind of like a Changeling Silvergill Adept that always draws us a spell, which is pretty sweet. We've got make our slivers bigger, make our slivers make mana, give our slivers vigilance, first strike, all these other fun goodies. So let's see if this pile of creature tribal can be up to snuff here and play some games with it here today. We'll see, Xanthias. Is Ancient Ziggurat legal? Yeah, I'm not playing Ziggurat because I want to cast Collected Company consistently. I already have 8 lands that don't make green for Collected Company, because we have Sliver Hives and Unclaimed Territories. So you're right that Ziggurat is legal. I don't think I want it. Sliver me timbers. I don't think is elves on my cube. I do not have elves on the queue. You can see all of the decks we're gonna have coming up today and tomorrow in the stream queue on my site. Also keep in mind, if you have a deck you'd like to see played, I do take donations to play decks on stream. You can learn more about how to submit a deck to be played on my website here. And thanks for the 11 months, Bad. Welcome back. So I don't think it's worth attacking to get attacked back by this, right? So we'll just chill. Well, it's not a land, but at least it's a castable spell. Opponent's also stumbling. Got that going for us. So if they want to triple block this, I can kill both their 1-drops. Any land tier is a good draw. Okay, them having to burn that treasure to play a 3-drop here is pretty good for us. Slivers you control, when they're dealt damage, it deals that much to player or planeswalker. Cloudshredder. It's a good one, chat. I think I probably want the Skyclave Apparitions against another creature deck. One game, one decks busted. Let's go. I think I'm gonna trim my other 3s here. Spiteful Sliver means don't use Anger of the Gods on me. Yeah, to a degree. It's good against damage-based sweepers for sure. It also can, like, let you win races when people are blocking your slivers inside of combat, which is nice. Okay, lands nice. I like our spot if we don't get comboed. Got a very, very aggressive start here for ourselves. Okay. Are you ready, chat? Bonescythe is ready. Okay, that doesn't combo us. This is really funny with the double strike sliver. Those two are very elegant one too. So, opponent needed another turn to play a creature out after that, so just appropriate aggressive pressure getting in underneath their combo there. Any creature out of them would have killed us next turn, so needed to dead them that turn. We should cut collect a company because we keep drawing them and not playing them. Sure. Sure, Jan. Yeah, they must have messed something up with their repairing here. This is our second time we instantly queued back into the same person. Yeah, someone else mentioned it felt like this had seemed worse with the most recent patch, so maybe we'll start giving it a good 30 count after we finish games before we queue back in. Been happening to you too, yeah. So 16 months came well. Something definitely must be foobar on their back end with that. Do I expect to get to Perpetual Arc today? Yeah, I think so. I imported it at least. Oh, they're playing something else. All right, deal. Man, flying and haste in the same sliver is kind of silly. Thanks for the 6 months, Potchug. We need Sliver Buxas, something like that. And this is actually lethal, right? This is +6. Great. Need a shower after that win, something like that, yeah. I think we're gonna board just like we boarded against the other creature deck. I'm gonna cut the Spiteful Slivers and the 2 Tempered and board in the 4 Skyclaves. Alti Gamer, thanks for 11 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. I've been viewing your channel for a while and loving the content and thought I'd show some love in the best way possible, cold hard cash. I appreciate that, Elk Lodge. This is my full-time gig that pays my mortgage, so thanks for keeping me around. I mean, to be fair, that was like relatively impressive, right? We just had like a turn 4 kill while we were stuck on 2 lands. So like not busted, but like reasonable. All right, so we play Cloudshredder here, and then next turn, this lets us Manaweft and immediately make mana with it, which is kind of gas. It seems sweet so far, Hydro Farmer. Thanks for the half a year. Welcome back. Haste and Manaweft is kind of silly. I am loosely aware of the Runeterra expansion, but I've not played or watched any of it. Alright, well, I mean, this is free, technically, right? Yeah, first strike plus vigilance seems like a good mix of keywords here. They do have Spellbinder with the Dauntless Bodyguard on it, worth noting, but... Top deck and Ulabog, something like that. Okay, so... We just do this and then go to 1. Navier, here's to fun formats after set releases. Thank you for the very generous stack of bits. Yeah, seems neat. I think trying to play 5-color Sliver with the Cascade one is bad. Yes. This was a builder. This deck was a build around submission for Jeff. Build Slivers how you want to build Slivers, and there is a reason I did not have 5 colors in that in it. Let's take a second for that last opponent to get a chance to requeue here before we pop back in. Although I guess they were on 2 different decks, so that's fine. Cannon Gear, thank you for the 16 months of Prime. Welcome back. Afternoon. Oi, Viz. Good afternoon. One the die roll. Strong start. Double mulligan. Okie doke. So, all things considered, Faceless Agent and Collected Company are our 2 sources of card advantage. So if we're going to have to mulligan, these are decent cards to have to start. Would I take your money to build 5-color Cascade Slivers? Maybe. Could it be a Brawl deck? Would you accept a Brawl deck? Because then we'd always have the first Sliver. Pawaga, thank you for the 25 months. Welcome back. Are in a Sliver Serve Brawl deck? Barely. But I think with barely enough slivers, the 5-color one's probably still better there than it is in actual Historic. Sedge. I think we take these so I don't have a bunch of X1s that die to Mayhem Devil. You turned down first Sliver, yes, but what of the second Sliver? What's going on, Weg? Thank you for the 12 months. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Yes, so there are bit emotes on the channel, Claire. That include things like a whale and a golden whale emote here. For the larger sea creatures in Hoaglandia. Thanks for the 14 months, Armored Pather. Welcome back. What are my best hits here? Like muscle, the Predatory Sliver plus the Flying Haste. I would really like Flying Haste. It's not terrible. Predatory Sliver, or as I like to call it, Magic Arena Sliver. Our slivers are much worse without haste. You're not wrong. Yeah, the flying haste sliver is definitely like the aggressive glue that holds things together. Hey, Vile Vulture, thanks for the prime. That's very generous. I appreciate the support. Are you ready, chat? Bonescythe is ready. Do-do-do-do. So, to the person in chat that just said, is Arena that predatory? I've only spent X amount of dollars. The price of something doesn't determine if it's predatory. A good example is a scratch-off ticket at your local gas station costs what? Like $1, $2, $3 or whatever? That's still predatory. Lotteries and gambling are predatory. When I describe something as predatory, I don't mean expensive. If I meant expensive, I'd call it expensive. Predatory things are things that lean into psychology to encourage players to spend more money or time on them than they otherwise would without that psychological abuse. Loot boxes, fear of missing out, things like battle passes. These are predatory mechanics that are very common in the gaming industry. Arena is far from the only game out there doing these things, but all of them doing these things are predatory for sure. All right, so I think I probably want to trim... Do I want to trim my X1s? Oh, my X1s are all real good. Maybe I just trim Manaweft Sliver. Although trimming Manaweft when I'm boarding in Skyclave is probably loose. I mean, I'm gonna give you a timeout, Trey. I just like it. It is an objective thing. It's not you find something predatory. It could be that the psychology of particular predatory things, such as fear of missing out, doesn't impact you personally like it impacts other people, but those things are still predatory. It's just like there are lots of people who are able to enjoy casinos casually and not have their lives ruined by them, but they are predatory institutions that destroy people's lives, right? Like, both of those things are true. Spell or ability. Huh. Diffusion Sliver stops Mayhem Devil. I need to cut 2 other cards here quickly. All right. So it's fine to like talk about your personal experience and say that like fear of missing out with battle passes doesn't really bother you. And I agree. For the record, I think leveraging fear of missing out as a predatory aspect is much less offensive than leveraging loot boxes for card acquisition. But you could still call the spade a spade and be like, yeah, it's still a predatory mechanism that they use to extract value out of players. Thanks for the 8-month Cynicalizer. I appreciate the 2/3 here. Haven't finished watching Uncharted and playthrough yet, but I'm glad you enjoying them. Yeah, they're great. We're definitely going to do Lost Legacy at some point. I think I'm doing Psychonauts next, and then we'll probably do Lost Legacy after that. Now someone said this only stops the first Mayhem Devil trigger. That's not true. Whenever a Sliver becomes a target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless they pay 2. I'm gonna lead on this in case they have like a Fatal Push or something. Because even if they play Mayhem Devil this turn, they're not gonna want to sack the Devil to kill my Cloudshredder, so we'll just get my point of damage in. Yeah, this could be a Masked Vandal matchup. I could see that. I'm going to play this out on white since we drew this for green for the company, because I do have Skyclave Apparition in my deck at the moment. All right, so with Devil coming down, I think we definitely want to do this because we get its second Diffusion Sliver. Nice, and we hit, So I definitely want this. Do I want this or this? This is probably just one of our better hits, right? And then next turn I get to go second Predatory plus Faceless. I guess this gives me a chance to find, I definitely want that. It's close. It's close. Yeah, we'll take Magic Arena Sliver. Faceless Agent could be anything, even another Predatory. That's true. Big true. Nope. That's, again, like, so words have meanings, chat. And just because something's expensive or you don't like the price of it doesn't make it predatory. Things are not predatory because they're expensive. It's just not true. Like, calling something predatory has to do with the psychological aspect of it. 100%. Kind of surprised they attacked with that. I guess they could have a collected company here that they want me to attack into. Morning, Mensch. I don't think I attack into a collected company here. They showed us Trail of Crumbs, but... Okay. I am fine with this trade. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Niner. Predatory preys on your brain, not your wallet. Yikes. That one was not on my radar. I think we're probably dead, huh? We know why they attacked now. Yep. Yes. Yeah, they're not mutually exclusive, Alec, for sure. Cat is not being the historic. They are a cat oven deck. Jun Food is one of the better decks in this format for sure. Chandra Awakened Inferno. Yep.
Anyone who stands in my way is getting sizzled. No pressure.
All right, so we're not playing around Collecting Company again. Very unlikely they're playing that card with all the other top end that they have. I think I'm happy with how we sideboarded. I'm gonna go ahead and run it back. I mean, I'm not saying they don't have Collecting Company. I'm just saying I'm not going to play around at this game. So, more power to them if they do. Blue Third, thanks for the follow. Good morning. Good afternoon. 5 minutes till noon here in the cornfields. I'm going to lead on Diffusion here to play around Claim the Firstborn. Lands would be nice. Sure, it's fine to talk about you think the price point of draft prices you out of it. You don't like that it prices you out, but that doesn't make it predatory, Bearsy. Is all I'm saying. So it's fine. It's fine to not like it, but at the same time, like, words have meaning, so don't just, like, call something something it's not just because you don't like it. Okay, well, they can't kill our friends, but we also are going to have a really hard time racing them. Because this cat just does infinite damage and gains them life. And we haven't found a third land here. So we get to sack this and then bring it back. So it deals 3 more. We go down to 14. And then they attack us for 4 down to 10. Basically have to draw an untapped Void Source next turn. Yeah, a lot of the squirrel cards have great designs. Yeah, Diffusion Sliver gives all your slivers ward too. Manaweft would be a great draw. Yeah. We'd do what? We'd go Manaweft into Diffusion into Skyclave. Just flood the board out. I'm going to take the devil. I guess it could be the oven. Yeah, maybe that's right. Yeah, it's probably the oven. So they can kill one of my slivers here. They can pay for and kill the shredder. wonder if we're gonna see him sack the cat or sack the food and kill a Diffusion Sliver next turn. If they were gonna do that, they would have killed the Diffusion this turn, though, right? Because then they would have only had to pay 2 next turn. Yeah, there were some back-end changes on Arena that messed up stuff too, Chumos, so we're waiting on a patch from Untapped. It would be really nice if Wizards of the Coast acknowledged the value that products like Untapped bring to their platform and worked with Untapped to give them advanced copies of things so we would have things working day 1, hour 1. That would be ideal. Hey, thanks for the 37 months, Socio. Welcome back. Wow, they are just paying mana to do this again. Okay, that kind of surprised me. I think they flubbed this. So if they would have killed Diffusion Sliver last turn, they could have killed the Cloudshredder this turn and only paid 2. To go to 4 here now. We're definitely not in a good spot because we stumbled as long as we did, though. Old Dimer, thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Well, so it's not like they have to give them... It's not like they have to give them an advanced build, Wadakis. They just have to say to Untapped, okay, our files that you read for your extension are changing in ways X, Y, Z, so you can be ready for it when we release. They just need to give them a heads up for what the file formats are changing. They don't need to do anything crazy like give them advanced copies of the stuff. Oh, I think I'm just passing with the Coco. It could be right to go Diffusion Predatory, though, to make the removal worse. With them having Languish and Big Chandra, though, there's some worry about extending into that. Hey, Mist. Thanks for the 17 months. Welcome back. Ooh, are we dead if we brick? Might be dead regardless. Alright, hopefully this isn't a bad company. It's pretty mediocre. Alright, so we get Skyclave back. They have 2 1/1s. We're dead to a Stiff Breeze. So we're dead to any food. Because of the cat. We either block it and they sack the food to bring it back. So dead to a lot here. If they're on bricks, we have a shot, though. Okay. So they'll follow Cryptic. So if I do this and they double block the Predatory Sliver, they go to 5. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage left over. So if they run straight bricks, we end up killing them next turn. Really close game, considering how long we stumbled. Yes, with the M, whatever core set these were in, they changed the visual design of slivers, so they no longer have meat hooks and they're more humanoid. There was a lot of hullabaloo about it at the time. Yeah, and that was the food that killed us, because it lets them bring the cat back now. Chat, I think Christy's trying to kill me. I told her I was going to be working a longer day today because of the set release, and maybe we should order some lunch. And she suggested Domino's. Thanks for the 2/3 of a year, Brick Skipper. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So, with them passing with 2 mana up here, do I just plan to Coco this turn? I think that's the plan. Can we just pass? Memory lapse is still legal, fam. Hard evidence is a big upgrade for the opponent's archetype. Alright, so do we Faceless and Shredder? We could do these two and then cast Shredder next turn. Let's do that. Rude. I think I need to play Spiteful Sliver here, so that way they can't kill me with anger. Honestly, we should probably have more Spitefuls in our sideboard for the Red Sweeper decks. S1, for those of you at home, whenever it's dealt damage, it deals that much damage back to a player or planeswalker. Seems very good in these matches. Bonescythe's probably a little slow. Bring in a couple of Thalias. Don't really have a lot for what they're doing. We've never wanted to put Thalia in yet. This is literally the second time I've boarded her in already. Memory lapse me, daddy. Still feels like shit, believe it or not. What a pleasant game experience. They did fix people being able to play Brainstorm, yes. Yeah, we've got that going for us. I mean, they're playing Hard Evidence, which is like a pretty big upgrade for their deck, all things considered. It's like, their deck has a new card. It's just like, has the same old cards that also are frustrating. I would be incredibly surprised if any of the new cards are able to push things like, Chameleon. Honestly, we probably could have beaten Coma with a good draw, but stuck on 2 lands and getting Memory Lapse is not a particularly good draw. Believe it or not. Slivers has seen reasonable in the games we've gotten to play Magic, which makes me think I might want a 24th land. Definitely have felt like we've been losing more games to Stumbling than to Flooding. Juggernaut! Thanks for the 7 months. Welcome back. Yeah, Gengar, we're gonna start Psychonauts 2 sometime next week. Probably Monday or Tuesday. I think I definitely just want to hold up Collector Company here. Feels bad, man. Okay. Crunch. Ugh. That was so fucking brutal. Mystic Subdual. Yep. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna play a bunch of creature decks, but like, I would be very surprised if any of the new creature decks that are being introduced are better than the various memory lapse decks that already exist in the format and have been powerful for a while. So we're gonna throw a lot of noodles at the wall over the course of the next few days and see what sticks, but outside of a smattering of new, like, C-tier decks, like, I'd be very surprised if this format changes meaningfully. I mean, like, I think you could, like, give us every sliver that's modern legal, and this deck's still not very good. Not as good as, like, what this opponent is doing. Esper Sentinel isn't a meaningful different thing. They like pay 1 extra mana one time and kill your thing, and then it just didn't matter. It like was a Thalia tax one time. I'm gonna throw some more Spiteful Slivers in our sideboard still, because they're good against Anger of the Gods and Red Sweepers on occasion, but all of these various tribal decks are just gonna like struggle real hard against the good control and combo control decks in the format. And I just don't know that there's really anything you can do about that. Masked Vandal's probably just largely worse than Skyclave. So Return of formats generally end up with control metas, or there's something you're not seeing here? No, Historic has ended up with a control meta game because Wizards of the Coast, with the introduction of the Strixhaven archives, pushed the format too far in the direction of good control cards and hasn't supplemented by giving us enough good creatures. And there wasn't anything like, you know, Cavern of Souls or Aether Vial to really give, like, we got a number of interesting creatures in this most recent card drop, but none of them are Lightning Helix and Memory Lapse quality cards. They're all much weaker than that. So the 21 months, JMOs, welcome back. That should be fun. Opponent's also playing a creature deck. The creature versus creature matchups have been very, very fun that we've played so far. I have been enjoying the creature matches. I think Vial would have been an incredible addition to Historic. Oh my gosh, I just tapped wrong. Well, I should have shocked that in first and then cast this and this, but it's fine. I actually really don't like the design of Cavern of Souls, and I'd kind of prefer that card wasn't legal in this format. But I think Aether Vial's a really sweet, interesting card. That's a good design that I would not mind having here. This card is so busted in these creature matchups. It's very, very good. Yeah, you need other specialized tools like Aether Vial, Cenotaph. There really aren't creatures that exist that can, like, be good against those types of things. Definitely a Skyclave matchup. How do we trim? I've just been trimming on these, which is probably accurate, reasonable, like trimming 3s for 3s. Yeah, definitely. I think Memory Lapse would be an excellent ban in this format. I think the card's very powerful, and it also sucks to play against, which is not a good combination of things. RQR, thank you for the 67 months. It's quite the stint here in Hoaglandia. Welcome back. It's over 5.5 years. That's fine. Well, they're gonna storm off a little bit before we do here. Turn 2, 8 power that attacks for 9. I think Counterspell is a very similar power level to Memory Lapse, and it wouldn't reduce... It would feel less bad to play against, but wouldn't ultimately reduce the power level of anything. I also just don't think there needs to be a good 2-mana Counterspell. I think good 2-mana Counterspells are toxic. I think that's just too efficient. So the 21 months, Coco Babe. Peabody Hightower, thanks for the 12 months. We're sticking around for a year. I think Reman's the least offensive of the options, but I also think they all just kind of bleh. This hand needs to draw some land. It's pretty good if it does. This might name Spirit this game. I have my other colors here, and we need second white for this. Okay, you want to know the best 2-mana counterspell I would like printed into the format? Let's say the best 2-mana counterspell I would like to see in this format is Miscalculation. The Zoomers can go look that one up. I'm not blocking this turn, right? So let's just attack for 2. Oh, I like the suggestion of Logic Knot. I would accept Logic Knot too. I think Logic Knot is an appropriate suggestion. Is Bonescythe lethal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, right? I believe this is lethal. Yeah. No, fuck, I didn't have Tempered Sliver in play. Oh, gosh, chat. Oh, chat, I did my math counting. I had this card in play. Huge mistakes have been made. Huge. Every other time we've had this card attacking, I had Tempered Sliver. I was counting 1 extra each time. Math is for nerds, chat. Don't be a nerd. Don't do math. It wouldn't have mattered. Anyways, it would have, Pelly, because all my things had double strike / first strike, so we would have been able to block and not die to cleave. Would have been able to line up okay blocks there, I think. I have plans on doing Jumpstart games for fun. Well, I don't find playing Jumpstart fun, so playing it for fun seems like a weird approach. Oh, they're playing Angels. Okay. Our start's not very good here against another creature deck. Really need like a double strike or something to pump up the jam. If they have, what's it called? Angel this turn? Righteous Valkyrie? Yeah, it's real bad for us. Oh, I think we're dead, fam. We don't really have a catch-up mechanic from here, right? Well. They drew perfect. I mean, their draw was fine. I think this game has a lot more to do with our draw being kind of mediocre more than our opponent's draw being exceptional. Like their draw was fairly average. Like I guess they had Soul Warden on one, but thanks for the third of the year, Nub. Welcome back. All my friends have first strikes. Like if we can find a flying sliver, we'll be okay here. Could maybe get the board gummy. Oh, sure. I should have waited till end of turn to make a token. I could draw company here. All right, and then we're done there. So this will be another matchup where with Skyclave Apparition, it's basically our plan against other creature decks is boarding that in. It is Peabody. That's why you have one. Does Jeff sound caffeinated? No, it's just a new microphone. I don't really do much caffeine. Cherry cola on occasion, but never coffee or energy drinks or anything like that. That's fine. Needs to draw some spells, but the start here is very good. You can hear me drink from the water bottle. That's noted. They did do an excellent job with the sound of the slivers. So if I activate this, I use 3 slivers, then I have 1, 2, so let's play tap land here. Can't really attack into Valkyrie. How long have I had the new microphone? Tuesday. Our opponent's really good at drawing Collector Company. Not as good at hitting with it, though, thankfully. God bless. So I play a land, activate Sliver Hive, takes 6. I basically need 6 twice. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then one more is 11. So I'm 1 short of activating 2 Sliver Hives this turn. So let's play this. And then next turn we can start double activating Sliver Hives. I don't think it's worth trading off any of my Slivers for 4 points of damage. I think I want to just keep building my board with all of these Sliver Hives in play. The bigger board I build, the more Slivers I get every turn. This is for the follow Smiling Chips. Oh, I bet they're going to take my Manaweft. I guess I could take the first Strike Sliver too. Depends on how aggressive they want to be. Yeah, I think taking Manaweft is right. Hampers my ability to start pounding out the, Oh, man, that's brutal. Okay, so I can start pumping out tokens again at least. And we are no longer clueless, so we've got that going for us. So that gains them 7 up to 28. So they're going to pop off their Anthem here. So we're going to take 11 here down to 9. Yep. This is where the magic happens. So if they block my Sentinel Sliver here, it lives because the first strike's going to wipe their buff off of them. Do Slivers always feel like a house of cards? Yes. That's why people like playing them. And to be fair, like, I don't even know that, like, comparing us to a house of cards is fair here because, like, my opponent's draw has been very good, right? Like, they had double Deccan Stone, Collected Company, Skyclave Apparition, like, a lot of things broke in favor of my opponent here while I've drawn, what, 8 lands? I mean, I don't even know that that was really the Angel deck doing Angel things. They drew a lot of their interaction. Like, the Angel things in my mind is them doing something really powerful and linear. And they didn't win that game because they were linear, right? They won that game because they interacted with my board a significant amount. While I drew none of my interaction. So we boarded in Skyclave Apparitions as well and just didn't have any because we didn't see Collected Companies or anything like that. Yeah, but like their Coco was bad because they put a bunch of removal in their deck post board, right? Their draw was still good. They just made their good cards worse by their sideboarding choices. Welcome back, Corsair. Definitely. Welcome back. Oh, shit. If I don't hit the second land with this hand, it's because you at home did not believe, so I'm gonna need you to believe, please. No! Read. No, hand's great keep. That's fine. They saw our hand now, so now we get to tilt them by hitting our land drops right away. Correctly did not mulligan against the discard deck. Exactly. Skill game. So the discard spell implies probably not food. Hey, Dean, thanks for the half a year. Welcome back. I mean, what's it called? Seasoned Pyromancer is legal in this format now, and that could be a real card to drag mid-range, kicking and screaming across the thing. Hitting these 4 land drops in a row is so much sweeter when our opponent looked at our hand. So it's so much more delicious, chat. The skews is huge. Does Pyro make elementals? It does. Everyone has 4 cards in their bin. It's only our second deck elk. They've both been pretty reasonable so far. So do I Bonescythe and attack with only Tempered, or do I Collected Company in a hope to find another Predatory or a Flying? I think I Company. There's a lot of good hits here. Just like we drew it up, fam. Just like we drew it up. Our draws were very good that game. For sure. Definitely a Diffusion Sliver matchup. What do we want to trim on? Probably want to cut two smaller things. Think I want to keep my double strikers. Let's trim one of these. Keeping my Collected Companies. Higher threat density is nice. If we cut to one other thing, we'll be at what, 31 hits? Seems pretty decent. Vigilance probably isn't super relevant here. We're bringing in other 2s. Am I supposed to bring in Skyclaves? The Vigilance actually doesn't seem super relevant at all. I'm gonna bring in the Skyclaves because they have skews that can be big, and they have Croxa. Yeah, having an answer to Skews and Croxa both seems pretty reasonable. So I assume we'll lose Manaweft here because it's our only play before turn 3. I want to attack our curve. I guess I could also have a removal spell and take Faceless Agent because Faceless Agent is card advantage. So yeah, if they have a Doomblade for this, which is pretty likely, I don't mind them taking this. It's probably the take because it's a 2-for-1. It's like a friend that finds more friends. Yeah, it seems very reasonable. So far, our mana base has felt very functional. Even we've been boarding in the Skyclaves and the blue splash. Our spells have been very castable. Manaweft goes a long way to help that for sure. All right, so they shocked in. So they almost assuredly have a removal spell, right? So what if I just like play a tap land and pass? So they shocked and then don't get to use their mana for the turn. It's gonna be like a Bone Crusher Giant. Smells like Bone Daddy, huh? These are a few of my favorite things. Okay, sweet. And now I get to go Striking Sliver plus Manaweft and double spell this turn. So they can kill one, but then I still have something in play, which is nice. Afternoon Dia. Grafdigger's Cage. Okay, I'm gonna bring in the 4th Skyclave Apparition for the 3rd game since they showed us this. My Cocos are important, and Skyclave has plenty of things to hit, even when they don't have Cage. Flying Sliver, definitely best draw, not close. This could be a sweeper, but it could also just be a piece of spot removal. Definitely want the other Skyclave with multiple cages. That was probably the best draw in their deck, huh? Makes up for our good draws last game, I suppose. Because they have exactly enough to escape it. I got rid of my Dorko. Yeah, Faceless Agent's been great. Wait. Why didn't they escape the Croxa? Oh, they can't. They have Cage. Alright, as you will, opponent. So, I don't think this deck is gonna break the format by any means, and I think you're probably a pretty big dog into the various memory lapse control decks that exist in the format, but it felt like we generated like very reasonable consistent draws, all things considered. We had a number of turn 4 kills throughout the course of this set in a couple different ways, some of them like involving like Manaweft plus Cloudshredder letting us spew our hand out, some of them just involving like Bonescythe Sliver. So overall, I think if you're a fan of this this creature type, this definitely felt like something that you can play and get on the scoreboard with plenty of time. I don't think you'll be able to, what's the word I'm searching for? I don't think you'll be able to have a positive win rate against things like Jeskai control, but there's a lot of things in this format, especially during this honeymoon period where people are trying a lot of different things, and this deck is but isn't wildcard friendly, so like a lot of these are commons and uncommons, but you know, you've got the mana base plus Cloudshredder and other things, so this is rare, and this is rare, and this is rare, but this whole core here is commons and uncommons. And I guess this is technically uncommon too. The lands are good crafts overall though, right? Like most of this mana base is shock lands. Even the couple of pathways are decent crafts too. You'll get a lot of use out of those in both standard and historic. How did Faceless Agent? Faceless Agent is great. This is, if you've never played Merfolk before, Silvergill Adept is one of the best cards in that deck, and this is basically a +1 mana Silvergill Adept that always finds you a spell. And Collected Company finding this versus the other is about a wash, right? All right, let's shift gears and keep on keeping on so we can play a variety of different things today.